Hello, everybody. It is Amber Kivett here with Lifepro. Super excited to see you and ready to be bouncing back into these live moments with all of you. If you are chiming in right now, wherever you may be in the world, if you could give me a thumbs up or give me some kind of a comment feedback that you can hear everything here. I had some audio challenges earlier today, so I want to make sure that everybody can hear everything. But today's going to be awesome. We are bouncing back into our back to school routine, whether you got kids at school, whether you got individuals leaving the nest for college, or whether you're just trying to, as a parent, getting back into normal routine. But also for those of you who don't have kiddos, just getting into that fall routine where you can bounce into optimal living, aging younger as the years roll on. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you on how to use the newest product that Lifepro has come out with is the Jumptrack. We've got two of them out here. We've got the blue one, which is the Pro version, and we've got the green one on my other side, which is the light version. And so if you have a trampoline, or rebounders, what we call them, in your home, then you can join along for some of these awesome exercises that we're going to do in a couple of short routines. And if you don't have one yet, then feel free to order one. And if you type in the code Amber20, then it'll give you an extra discount off of your purchase. And it's capital A, little M, BER 20. And that will give you a little extra chunk off of the total price when you order. So I see people are starting to listen in, starting to jump in. Super excited to see everybody today. It has been a while since I've been in the live stream of things. I've been going through some life changes, and sometimes when you go through life changes, you've just got to slow down, pour more energy into yourself so that you got energy to give away to everybody else. And so that's where I've been since April. I'm going to tell you, with the jump tracks, I had a not so pleasant situation in which we were supposed to be launching these, and I actually broke my nose trying to put one of them together. Just a small design issue of putting it together alone. Live and learn. And so I got to be the test subject for our newest product. But I can assure you, I have put these together here in the last couple months, time and time again, and they have definitely gone back and made some advancements, some adjustments. And so you are safe to purchase one of those. They are now updated, and safety issues have been taken care of. The instructions are going to be inclusive in your manual. So make sure that there's two of you to help fold open the trampoline, because it is got a tremendous amount of tension that it comes with, which makes it so wonderful as compared to the older version of rebounders that were out years ago, in which you have to put them together piece by piece. These just fold out and it comes in a quarter moon, and then you fold out into half moon, and then you fold out into a full moon, which is what you see out here. So if you don't have a rebounder, start looking into the jump tracks. They're available via Amazon and through the Lifepro website. And if you already have one, then let's get excited into doing some introduction type workouts. We're not going to have any music for these, but real quick, I want to share with you the differences between these two. Both of these units, if you can give me an idea, can everybody hear me okay? Like I said, I had some challenges earlier with people being able to hear me. So if you can let me know, yes, that you can hear me, or no, you can't. Or at least I'm hoping that you can hear everything. We just want to make sure that you're receiving all this great information. Yeah, this is awesome. Super excited to see everybody. So we have the Jumptrack Lite, which is the green on this side, and the Jumptrack Lite is exactly the same as the Jumptrack Pro. The difference between the two is the weight capacity. So if you are 225 pounds or under, you can go with the green, which is the Jumptrack Lite. Its max weight capacity is 225 pounds, and this, with everything assembled as it is, weighs 12 pounds. The Jumptrack Pro is the one that's blue, and it weighs, as it stands, 14 pounds and max capacity of 350. So if you are over 225 pounds, or you have family members that are wanting to use this with you, then make sure and err to the side of more weight capacity, because dynamically loading, when you get on these and you start bouncing around, you do not want to be on the edge of weight capacity. It is the trampoline, the center is what makes it what we call the jump mat. is what makes it a little bit different. But otherwise, the size of both of these is exactly the same. 40 inches is what in diameter is what they are. The adjustable handlebar, you can adjust these by this little screw knob here that goes up and down, and it's got a jump tracker on it as well as a calorie counter on it. So you can adjust and increase height or lower it to your liking, depending on what you like. If you don't want it in your way, you can honestly remove it. It comes off really, really easy if you don't want it. And it does have a little receiver on the bottom down here that has a jump track counter. So it'll count how many times that you're bouncing. And we'll give you that feedback on your monitor up top. So what I want to do is share with you some do's and don'ts before we get started with this awesome workout. If you love the workout and you want to join me later in the week, I'm going to be doing another live tomorrow and another one in a few days. I'm going to be combining vibing with bouncing. So we're going to do vibe and bounce using the vibration platforms and then immediately going into the jump track. So if you aren't into the jump track and you want to just join in for some vibing and some vibration workouts, then feel free to jump in with me tomorrow and here in the next few days, because I'm going to be I'm going all in, my friends. I have been missing all of you and excited to just jump back in to the roles and the opportunity to serve all of you up here at Lifepro. Between the two jump tracks, there are some do's and don'ts that I want you to remember. First and foremost, you're used to hearing me talking about doing everything barefoot because of the neurosensory on the bottom of the foot. When it comes to jump tracks, we want to make sure that you are wearing shoes or some kind of a sock that has some grip to it. When these jump mats, the trampoline in the center, when those get sweaty or wet, it can get a little slick. So we want to make sure, number one, that you have on athletic shoes that are comfortable and that you have on grippy socks if you don't have on athletic shoes. There will be a time in which I'm going to teach you some exercises that you can do barefoot, in which we can strengthen through the lower leg and through the bottom of the foot. So if you have restless leg syndrome, if you have plantar fasciitis, if you have some kind of tendinosis or tendinopathy, we can do certain strengthening exercises barefoot on the trampolines without causing any further harm. And so I will take you through some of those programs further into the future so that you can use this for more than just getting your workout on. But definitely do wear athletic shoes. I've got on cross trainers. If you have on shoes that are made for running, if you have on a running shoe, you're more than likely going to have a little bit of more lateral instability, so a little side-to-side action like such, as opposed to being really stable. So do be careful if you are wearing a running shoe. Make sure that you're careful, that you're holding on, so that as you're coming down that we don't roll an ankle, okay? We want to make sure when you are bouncing or jumping, bouncing is creating motion on the trampoline without air time. And if you have a little bit of air time, that's what we're jumping. We want to make sure and keep our knees soft. We don't want to lock our knees out because that is really not good on our meniscus within the knee joint, really not good on the hip and the back. So make sure that you're keeping your knees nice and soft. And when you get on, let's just go a little easy, get a little going slow versus jumping and just revving the system up. It does not take much energy in order to get that heart rate up and to get respiration up. So you don't have to work as hard on the jump tracks as what you do doing everyday other exercises on the machines at the gym or trying to, speed walk or doing things at home. You're going to get a more effective workout using the rebounders and doing less effort, having more fun, and just getting familiar. But we're working on balance, coordination. We're enhancing our lymphatic system and the drainage of our toxins. We're increasing bone density. We are improving our caloric burn and expenditure and metabolism. The whole detox process takes place more efficiently, and we are decreasing stress and getting a happy dose of hormones happening. So there's a lot of greatness that comes from being on the rebounders for a workout. We're going to work on strengthening our muscles and creating more tone. But more importantly, if you don't understand what connective tissue fascia is, it is an enhancer. It is a stimulant to take that connective tissue and make it from all tangly and knots and like blah to lots of springability. So if you have restless leg syndrome, if you have plantar fasciitis, Those types of conditions are going to improve as you get better and better with your rebounding. But it doesn't have to happen on a speed of, just going all in and all out. You just got to get comfortable. So start slow, because just a little bit of bounce goes a long way. Use your handle when needed. And more importantly, when you get on, make sure that you are in the center and that you're not offset to the edge, because these things can be a little wobbly. You can be a little wobbly. If you see here, I'm rocking it side to side. Don't do that. We don't want to do that. We want to be stable in the center, and we want to feel grounded, even though we're on an unstable surface. That being said, this is being positioned on turf with concrete underneath. If you have carpet at home, make sure that it is free of any and all other things in the way, toys, shoes, furniture. We want to make sure that we are on stable ground and not on unlevel ground, because it doesn't take much to shift the trampoline off to the side. If you happen to hop up one side and it happens to be a little off level, or you happen to be, on an incline, depending on where you're using this, you're using outside, your back porch, just make sure that it's on a level, stable surface. Make sure that you stay breathing as naturally as you can. So breathing in through the nose, blowing out as you are enjoying the increase in your heart rate and respiration as you're burning those calories. And then last but not least, make sure that it is just one person at a time. It is not built for two, just one. When it comes to the amount of space, you see both of these out here. I'm going to move one of these out of the way because we don't need both. And we want to make sure that we have about 7 feet of room around, so that if you do happen to bounce and step off, or if you need more space, we want to have 7 feet of space for the rebounder to take up. It doesn't take up that much room. It's only 40 inches around, but we don't want to be on top of everything, okay? And when it comes to ceiling height, because we have the ability to jump really high, we want to make sure that there's no ceiling fans over us, and then we have about 10 feet of vertical clearance, okay? So if you have 8-foot ceilings, 9-foot ceilings, you don't have the really high ceilings, just make sure that you are not positioning yourself under a light or a fan of any sort, and that you've got good clearance, so that you don't bump your noggin as you happen to jump a little bit taller. It's a fun feeling. What I don't want you to do, I don't want you to be wearing loose clothes. You can see that my clothes are very form-fitting so that I don't trip over my own feet or over my own pants. So make sure that you're wearing not compression garments, but make sure that whatever you're wearing is tucked in, that you're not loosey-goosey and you're not tripping over your own stuff. Again, we don't want to go barefoot just yet, because we are wanting to make sure that we are staying stable and in shoes where we can have some fun and build some resilience here in our lower legs and some springability. We do not want to bounce on the edge. So make sure that when you're jumping, as we get to going side to side, that you're not bouncing towards the edges. I want you to keep your strides a little more central, okay? Because we are more likely to roll or trip or get unbalanced if we're towards the edge. So do not jump towards the edge. Do not try and see how high you can jump. It's not a matter how high you can jump. It is the quality of the bounce and the quantity of the bounce. It's not how high you can jump. And then again, as you feel this elasticity in your body improving, when you do make contact with solid ground, you're going to want to bounce around and do all kinds of fun things, but you're not going to bounce as high. So just be aware that what you feel on the rebounder, on the jump track, you're going to feel unstoppable. Like you can launch to the moon, and then you get to the ground where you're grounded with gravity, and you don't feel like you can go as far. So just be aware that everything's going to change when you make contact with the ground and get grounded again. Do not hold your breath when you're jumping. And if you've been on a trampoline outside and you're bouncing, and then you go to sit and then you spring back up, do be careful. Like this is not big enough for you to be able to do a booty blaster. So no booty blasting on the trampoline unless you're on an outdoor trampoline. And then last but not least, if you have jewelry or if you've got eyeglasses, you got things in your pockets, make sure to empty all that stuff out of your pockets, take the jewelry off so that you're not getting yourself all tangled up in things that you actually have control over. Rebounding is awesome because it's combining gravity, acceleration, deceleration, all into one low-packed, total body workout, and it challenges the body in new ways that you probably have not experienced before in your life. So we are going to have lots of fun, and I'm going to kind of teach you how to get started. We're not going to have any music for today. I'm just going to mix these up, and we're going to try a little bit of introductory of just how to get on, how to get started, how to escalate it, or how to challenge yourself, for those of you that want to challenge yourself. Because my hair goes all over the place when I'm bouncing and having a great time, I'm going to make sure and pull my hair tie back, and then make sure that you've got water. All the jump tracks come assembled, or come as you assemble it, for a bottle of water. So you can squeeze your bottle of water right in that cup holder there if you choose to. I'm actually going to choose to sit mine down on the ground because I don't want it to get in my way. I don't want to reach for it. Then, yeah, so make sure you get your water. That's the most important thing. After you are done working out, when you get up tomorrow, do expect to be a little sore. So if you roll out of bed and you're walking around and you feel like a little bit of a penguin, a little bit of a waddle, that is normal. What do you got to do? Get on your vibration platform and flush it all out. That is your body kind of resisting change, but we have to choose change, or change will choose us. So make sure when you wake up tomorrow, if you step down on the ground and you feel a little bit of tension, a little bit of penguinism, where you're just like waddling around because you're like, oh, I've got new muscles. Guess what? We are restructuring your lower legs and your feet, which is a beautiful thing. 25% of the bones in the human body are in the foot. And we have over 100 ligamentous junctions in our foot. So are we going to switch things up a little bit and transfer that energy up through the top of the body, so naturally through the ground? Yes, we are. But your body has to change just a little bit, and it might not be so happy with change, just like we don't like change. So be ready tomorrow. If you do wake up and you're a little stiff, a little sore, get up, get moving, get on your vibration platform, flush it out if you need to. All you got to do is just stand on it. But again, I'm going to be teaching a vibe and bounce workout, how to use your vibration platform in coordination with the jump track, and we're going to have a great time burning calories, leaning out, improving bone density, and living our best life. Okay? So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this up just a tad so you can see me a little bit closer. And these are so much fun. We're going to have a blast. All right. So as we're on here, step on. Make sure that you are comfortable with where you're at. Now, if you don't like this handlebar up high, again, you can use the screw knob here, and we just release that knob, and then this slides down. And so you can, if you want it out of your way, you can get it out of your way. But if you find that you really, you might not have a balance problem, but you just want the convenience of having it, whoops, that's a little too high. You have the convenience of being able to have the bar if you want to for balance, then you can definitely do that. Yeah, so as you can see, it's a little on the wobbly side, but we don't fix that here with this knob. We fix it down low with where the screws are. So slide this back just a tad so you can see me bounce. Okay, now, again, wearing shoes, all I want you to do is get onto the center of your rebounder. And I just want you to hold on to the handle, and we're just very easy going to pick one foot up at a time and transferring weight from one side to the other. If you need to slow this down, pick one foot up, put it back down, shift your weight to the side, shift your hands to the side if you need to. This is not a balance contest. This is not who can do the rebounding the best. In fact, none of you can share what you look like on your end of things. So don't worry about how beautiful you look on your rebounder. Just be proud that you're on it. But again, we're just picking up one foot to another and just getting comfortable with the shift. And then if you want to go hands-free, or maybe you just want to hold on to one side, you can hold on to one side and alternate with the other. And we're just getting comfortable, okay? If this is something new to you, get comfortable. Now, from here, all I want you to do is hold on to the handlebar. I just want you to rock and roll through your foot. We're just rocking and rolling. So we're going to roll all of our weight to the ball of our foot, and we're going to rock back to our heels, picking our piggly wigglies and our toes up. Rocking forward and rolling back, okay? Now, what you can get into the habit of doing is this right here. So we're moving through a hinge in our hips, or you can keep your body nice and long and really work through the ankles and the calves and the foot complex. So if you keep your body straight from the thighs up in a straight line, this is different than this right here. Okay? You do what works for you. There's no right or wrong here. You do what works for you. But if we're wanting to improve how our feet, ankles feel, how our calves look, if we're trying to build those beautiful muscles in our calves looking like rock hard baseballs, this is how you do it. Okay? What I want you to remember is your calf muscle, the gastrocnemius, that is this big gun right here. This muscle right here is referred to as the second heart of the human body. First heart, second heart tied, okay? Why do we call it the second heart? Because it works like a pump, a mechanical pump, in pushing energy on up the line, opening up lymphatic lines, cleansing the system, and boosting our immunity, okay? Our calf is responsible for that. So I always tell people when I work on their limbs, their legs, and their feet, you're gonna feel like you can jump to the moon in one shot when you get up off my table, and it's the same way with the rebounder. If you get off the rebounder, you're gonna feel like you can just go bounce around like a Tigger, like bouncy, 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 bounce, like you're gonna be all happy because it's the second heart is pumping extra energy and it's pushing it on up the line in which we're eliminating all the crap that gets furthest away from the body. So it's good stuff. All right, now we've gotten our rock and rollers here. We've gotten high knee, just our basic steps, and you don't even have to go high knees. You can just do stepping side to side. Okay, now what I want you to do is bounce. So we're holding on, but we're not clearing air. So no air. We're just creating motion, okay? And if you want to go hands-free, you're going to use those muscles in your feet. We call those your intrinsic muscles. You're using your lower legs, and we're just creating momentum, which keeps the rebounder, the jump mat in the middle, keeps it going. So it's really good stuff. Now, if you have children at home, this is great for kids, especially those who come home after school and they're wired and you got to wear them out a little bit more so they can actually sleep at night. The rebounder, Jumptrack, the Lite and the Pro have been approved for ages 8 and older with supervision. It is not to be used like a trampoline outside for recreational purposes. This is a fitness trampoline. It is also meant for nervous system regulation, for working on recovery through bone density challenges, just keeping things fluid. So if you have children who are using the Jumptrack or any rebounder for that matter, make sure that you are supervising and that they're not all over the place, because we don't want anybody to fall off and get hurt. We don't want them, we're not doing flips on here. We're not doing booty bombs where we land on our booty and pop back up like you can do on an outdoor trampoline. We're just bouncing, okay? Jumping is clearing air. So now we're clearing air. And if you want to clear air and just get comfortable, you can hold on to the handlebar and allow your body to move in the middle. Now, what I mean by that in the middle is if I turn this sideways, this is standing nice and tall. This is holding on and using your lower body. So you can see where my body is compensating through here to create the momentum. So yes, ladies and gents, we're getting a little bit of booty pop going on there. We are working that booty muscle, okay? So you can do it either way. You just do whatever works for you. All right, so we're just getting motion going. So we can bounce, little jumps, and with little jumps, you can use your foot ankle. So I'm using just my foot ankle to create this motion, or we can use our knees where we're coming down, landing in a squat, taking back off. So let's try that. Little bounce, squat and stop, little bounce, squat and stop. Say that 3 times in a row. Squat and stop, right? Good. Squat and stop, good. So if you do okay with that and you want to go a little bit deeper, we can squat down, touch the ground, and bounce. Squat, drop down, touch the ground, and bounce, okay? If you want to make this a little bit harder, heart rate is higher. It's you can hear a little bit of more oxygen in my breath. We're going to drop down and lift, okay? You're going to land and then squat down, touch the ground, and jump. And then you're going to kind of calm yourself down, squat down, and jump, okay? So you can turn this into whatever you want to, whatever works best for you. Maybe you don't feel comfortable doing that far. Hold on to the handlebar, reach down, touch, and then bounce along. Okay, pause, grab your bar, reach down with the other hand. Bounce along. So many different variations to just bouncing in squats, right? All right, now the other thing that you can do that I'm going to show you is a jump jack, okay? Now let me show you a modified jumping jack. Modified jumping jack, which means we're not getting air time, is a tap, tap, side to side, okay? If you want to go tap, tap, jack, that would be holding onto the handlebar. Tap, tap, jack. So I'm showing you on the ground first so you can practice this, get the coordination down, and then take it to the jump track or whatever rebounder you have and have fun with it. Tap, tap, jack. Okay? Try and land and take off from the ball of the foot. So it's going to be this part of your shoe, not flat-footed. We want to use, all of our power is stored right here. If you use the whole foot, you're creating more impact all the way up the leg. So you do what works for you. Okay, so I'll get you all straightened up here. So watch here. Tap, tap, jack. Tap, tap, jack. One of these days we'll turn on some music and we'll jam. Like we'll get the energy to a whole other octane. There we go. Tap, tap, jack. Now, what I want you to do is switch it up. So instead of tapping out the same side, let's switch sides of tap. So we're going to tap, tap, and jack. Tap, tap, jack. Now let me show you a variation here. We're tapping to the side, my body, think about belly button, chest, crotch, stay center. Tap, everything stays center. Jack, everything stays center, okay? So center, 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 okay? Or you can step and go with, jack it out. Now, if you step and go out with, make sure that you're finding balance here. So if you want to hold on, step it out and shift with. Okay, when you put weight off to the side, we are not loading this side. We're keeping our weight on our center. We always want to keep the weight on the rebounder in the middle, okay? Because if we go over here to the side, we could rock. That's a no-go. Don't do that, okay? I warned you now. Don't go to the side. That's a no-go, okay? And if you feel yourself tipping, then bail. Like, bail out. Tap, tap, and jack. All right? Tap, tap, jack. And now we add the hands. Tap, tap, jack. Tap. You got it. See, if you talk to yourself out loud, it's really easy to get into the groove. And then guess what? We can turn this into a little dance. Boom, boom. Yeah. And then we can give it a little muscle, and then a little chest fly. Muscle, muscle, chest fly. So a lot of different ways you can do it and have a good time. Okay, now, one other thing that we can do, well, there's a lot of other things we can do. Okay, just do a toe tap. So we can tap, tap, jack. So if you don't want to tap out to the side, guess what? You don't have to. You can step toe forward, step toe to the forward, and then jack to the side. Tap, tap, and jack it out. Tap, tap, jack it out. Okay, so what that looks like on the floor, let me show you here. It's a tap forward, jack, jack. I'm going to step it back so you can actually see my bright colored shoes. I wore the bright colored shoes so you can actually see my foot motion. Okay, so tap. This is traditional. This is altered. This is a toe tap, bring it back, toe tap, bring it back, jack, or wait for it. We're going to level up here, tap, tap, and then we can shuffle. Tap, tap, shuffle. So I'm going to show you that. I'll show you what this looks like on the jump track. So it's tap, tap. Now we switch front to back, okay? I'm going to show you here to the side because I know so many of you like having different perspectives to see this. So we're tapping forward, tap and switch, tap and switch. Then we start back again. Tap, tap, shuffle. Tap, tap, shuffle. We can tap other side and initiate the other side first. So you can mix and match it, whatever makes you feel comfortable. It's all about being in your comfort zone. Okay, tap, tap, and shuffle. And you can shuffle as many times as you want to before you need to regroup to the center, all right? So, lots of combinations there that you can do, okay? The other thing that I want to share with you is if you know how to jump rope, just jump rope, okay? What happens if we jump rope side to side? Jump rope, okay? So we can do a tap like we're jumping rope, okay? If you need to hold on with one side, you can tap like you're jump roping, or we can do single leg bounce. Yes, I'm loving you guys chiming in here. Keep coming. This is a 40-inch round rebounder. Both of the rebounders are the same size, but this one's 40 inches. So the jump surface in the center is 30 inches. Okay, so we're gonna go. So we started here with the shuffle, okay? And we go jump rope, then jump rope to the side, okay? Single leg at a time, holding on if you need to hold on, totally cool with that. Now, you can also bring those knees a little bit higher, which guess what? Heart rate goes way up when you drive those knees up, because what goes up must come down, and you have to be able to control it. So you can just do this, a switch change, where you actually have to control and balance, and guess what? You are building lots of muscles, getting some buoyancy, getting some pliability going. Those lower legs are happy, okay? All right, so if we want to bounce same side, pick one foot up, and you can just bounce, but do not, I'm going to repeat this, do not lock your knees out. This is an easy way to injure your knee if you lock your knees out. When we keep our knees soft, if you're wanting to work on building the caboose here, okay, if you have to stabilize on that side by just bouncing, okay, every time you re-land, this is firing and reshaping, okay? So you don't have to clear air. You can just bounce. And you can stay same side, okay? Just did a rotation on you there. So we can work just same side where we're feeling stable, but keep your knees unlocked or keep them soft. You don't want your knees to be locked out. You don't want to feel this behind your knee. You don't want to feel these muscles back here tightening up on you. Those are your decelerators. And remember, rebounding combines gravity, acceleration, deceleration, and low impact for a full body workout. You can hear me huffing and puffing. My heart rate is going up. It's a good thing. So single leg bounce, switch, and switch, or just bounce a little bit and then switch until you feel safe. And again, I'm holding on, or you can go without holding on, hands free. You can double tap it. Whatever makes you feel safe. The most important thing, my friends, is remember to feel safe, feel confident, and don't be afraid of being in a jump motion. Okay, now I'm going to show you if we need to bring heart rate down, because you can hear me huffing and puffing, right? If we need to bring heart rate down, I'm going to show you how you can do some things in a seated position on the rebounder, or how you can use the rebounder to do some alternate exercises. So let's bring that heart rate down just a notch. And so we're going to start with just having a seat in the center. We're going to make hand contact either with the center and take our booty off to the edge, so we're doing dips, or we're going to hold on to the edge, pushing straight down, not pushing into, because if we push this way, we actually try and push the rebounder away from us. Think about pushing straight down, and then we're just dipping, okay? So this is how we can turn this into a total body, working those arms. Just make sure your booty is clearing the edge, okay? And then we can sit back in the center, and we can work on holding one leg up at a time. So this is a modified crunch, where we're rowing in position. We can go side to side. You can add a medicine ball or some hand weights, but your back is supported in this jump mat here in the center. So you can really modify however you need to. You can put those hands back if you want to. You can hold on to the edges and just pick those feet up one at a time. Now, if you decide you want to get adventurous, we can bring the heels up, tap down, and back to the ground. Bring them up and tap. And if you need more room, you scoot your booty on back, and adjust. Just be aware of where the handle is. Okay, so heart rate is coming down here. Now, if we're not ready to bounce yet, to jump the heart rate back up, we can go into push-up position, okay, where we can make contact. Yep, I'm telling you to lay your chest on the rebounder and then push your body back up. If you don't want to do a partial push-up, you don't have to. In fact, I like being able to go all the way down and feel my chest on the rebounder and using the rebounder to get back up. It gives you a little spring up, okay? So drop down, push up. We can even go hands off to the side, and we can go partial. So we're working on more across the chest and in these areas right here. When we go wider and we're dropping down, we're opening up that chest wall, but it is a lot harder to get back up from those, so just be aware of that. But if this is uncomfortable for your palms, you can put a towel rolled up on the jump track so that your hands are not flat, but they're more curved. So we're like here or here, whatever feels comfortable for you. If you need to, you can also, hands are on the jump track, toes are underneath of me, just lift up, drop down. Oh, wait a second, I can't get back up. Okay, drop those knees down and push yourself back up. You're allowed to do that. We're not judging. We're just here to give you a lot of different options so that you can get stronger and feel confident in your wellness journey. Drop down, knees, press up, pop into that plank, okay? Now, if we're trying to mix things up, we want to work more the quads or the front of your legs and work more butt, we can go into a mountain climber. So we go into position here, like we're in our plank, okay? And we just tap. So we can take that tap and jack. Here's tap, tap, jack, tap, tap, jack. I know, right? Just when you thought you couldn't get away from the jumps and the taps. So there's a lot of things you can do. Right here, bring that leg up here and stretch into it. Mountain climber. Get into a deep stretching mountain climber. Other side, stretch. Let that chest open up. Look up high. You're gonna feel a deep stretch in your hip. So if you've got sciatica going on, you got a pain in your butt, literally, then stretch those legs out and open up more, okay? Awesome. Okay, now, I want to show you how to twist and jump, okay? So we're twisting side to side, okay? We call this a modified ollie shuffle, okay? But we're twisting side to side. When we do this on the rebounder, I want you to make sure that you're holding on until you get comfortable with this, okay? So we're gonna twist and jump to one side. So our toes are facing here. And then if we wanna go back to center, so that our toes are facing square, go for it. And then turn to the other side. Now we're facing the other way. Back to the center, side, center, or angle. We're gonna angle and center, angle, center. And then if you choose to go hands-free, angle, center, rebalance, angle, free, center, and balance. If you want to go all the way, so doing a 90 turn, back to center, 90, back to center, and then now we can really twist and shout, right? Okay, now here's the thing though. You gotta make sure that you're picking your feet up and you're not dragging your feet, because this is an easy way to twist up your knee. We don't want you to have a knee injury because you're twisting through the knee. The knee is not meant to twist. So we actually are twisting through our abs, through our hips. So work with me here. Relax those knees and twist through our hips, okay? So we're actually twisting through our hips and we're not rotating. So if my upper body is staying still, lower body is doing all the rotation, that's a lot of torque on the knee. That's a no-go, don't go there. We want the motion to come from up top. That's actually how we reduce low back pain as well, is creating more rotation up top. So twist, center, you're using this and rotating to try and gain the motion and the momentum, okay? Let's do double bounce. 2, back to center, 2 to the side, back to center, to the side, back to the center. You get what I'm saying? But we can take our time and getting comfortable. Oh, here's a fun one. Watch, we're gonna create a clock, only a semicircle clock. So we're gonna bounce, 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 hold. We're gonna bounce, bounce, bounce back to 12. Now we're gonna bounce the other side to 3 o'clock, bounce our way back to 12 o'clock. And what I mean by bounce is we're not getting a lot of air time, we're not jumping, we're just creating enough motion that we're getting up off that we can turn. And turning back to center, turning back to the side, and then now we can work our way all the way around. Just doing a semicircle, okay? Just doing a half moon for today. We don't want to go over the top the first day, all right? But if you want to hold on and you want to go that way, you can hold on and you can twist, and guess what? This is all abs, bat wings, spare tire, all those names that we give ourselves. It is just rotating side to side, and we're working from our chest to our hips and getting those abs fired up and excited. And we are having fun while we do it. Yay! Right? If you want to get wild, for those of you who are wanting to get really young and finding youth in yourself, we can bounce and do what I call little starfish, little shining star. So when you push down on the handle and lift up, open your legs and then re-land. This is if you feel really, really safe with everything I've already shown you, then you can try this. If you don't feel safe with everything I've shown you, don't try this at home. But it is a push down. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to push down and lean forward. That's a no-go too. That will cause an imbalance on here pretty quick, okay? So it's just pushing down and opening up those legs and getting enough air time that we can get our feet back underneath of us, okay? You can do this with hands off the handlebar, but it is a lot of energy, so heart rate is gonna go nuts if you try that, okay? So do be careful if you do that. Last but not least, I wanna show you, is we're gonna go elbow or hand to one leg up, back to center, elbow to the other knee, back to center, elbow, knee, elbow, knee. Yes, we are working abs here, my friends. Elbow, elbow. We can go elbow, center, hold, reload, hold, reload, okay? So it'll look like this from the side. You gotta be able to clear that handlebar. So elbow, back to center, elbow, back to center. Or you can go hands free, work on that balance, keep that handlebar handy in case you need it. But we can go hand, we can rotate to the side, so you get a little twist in there. Side, side, elbow, side, side, elbow, side, side, elbow. Lots of different ways, or you can rainbow, drawing rainbows with your hands as you're bringing those knees up and over. So many options. And my friends, that being said, I'm gonna take you through a very quick sequence, 3 minutes or so, because we're already 40 minutes in here. And I told you this would be a short one. This is just intro, get comfortable with your rebounder, have some fun with your rebounder, and let's see what you feel safe and comfortable with. So let's put it all together and have a little bit of fun here. Grab a drink. And let's bounce all in. Okay, so we're just getting initiated. A little bounce, a little tap, a little bounce in the middle. Holding on if you choose to. We're just putting it all together, okay? And then from here, we're gonna rock forward, rock back, rock forward, rock back. Make sure those knees are nice and soft. No locked knees allowed. We don't want locked knees and we don't want knocked knees. Okay, good. Now, bounce on the front of your foot. So you're gonna be on the balls of the foot, right above the arch. Just bounce enough that you feel safe. If you want to get a little bit of air time, get a little air time. If you want to bounce side to side, hold on if you need to. Adjust that handlebar so it's as high as you want it to be. Because if you do want to grab it, you don't want it to be so low that you're going to get off balance to grab it, and then you're going to face plant, take a little spill. We don't want that. Okay, heel tap. I didn't show you that one earlier. This is a little dance mode. Nice. Okay, tap, tap, side to side. Let's get comfortable with the taps. Now let's add a little jack. Good, we're gonna tap it out. 2, 3, 4, and jack it out for 2. We're gonna do 4 taps, tap each way. 2 more, here we go, and let's jack it twice. Good, we're tapping forward. Forward, jack, tap, tap, jack. You know it. Having fun. After we end this, I want to hear how much fun you had, whether you're afraid of it, if there's something you loved, something you didn't like, so I can be aware of it and I can fix it next time, because I don't know what you don't know until you know. Good. Now we're going to do tap, tap, shuffle forward and back. Tap, tap, and then shuffle, switch. So you're basically switching feet in front and behind, switching, and it doesn't matter how many times you tap, just get comfortable. Switch it up. Good. All right. Tap, little dance motion here. Having a little fun with your hips. Okay, keeping your weight centered. If you choose to go a little more off to the side, just make sure you don't go too far. Good, nice job. Tap, tap, squat. Tap, tap, squat. Now, if the handlebar is going to be in the way, then let's change orientation. So we're going to go to the side. So the handlebar is handy here if we need it, but it's not in the way. Okay? So we're going to bounce, bounce, squat. I want you to touch the ground and rise up. Bounce, bounce, squat. Touch the ground, rise up. Yep. Boom. Meet the ground and reach up. Hold on if you want to. Stop. Reach. Grab the bar and bounce. Pause. Reach to the ground. Grab the bar. Bounce. Okay? Good. Yay. Now, high knee. Okay? A lot of energy. Getting that heart rate up. You can hear my breathing coming up. Good. Now, if we want to get away from the handlebar, then we can bring those knees up and tap, or we can go elbow to knee, where you're working more of those abs. Very nice. And then last but not least, I've showed you several exercises, but we're going to tap one foot, switch sides. Tap it as you're switching side to side. So bouncing twice, jumping twice up on one foot, and switching to the other side. And if you actually bounce, get a little air time underneath each bounce, heart rate goes way up. If you don't want to leave the ground, you just want to hold up for 2 counts, you can just switch. Okay, now, bring that back down. Heart rate is high. Okay, so let's take a seat on down. And I'm going to turn this around so the handlebars behind me. There we go. Handlebars behind me. And all I want you to do right here is reach back just a tad. We're going to lift a leg up, lift a leg up, just back and forth. So we're working on slowing that heart rate down and enjoying the process. Good. Good. Now cross one leg over and we're just going to roll side to side. Okay. If you've got sciatic, if you want to hold on to the side rails to open this up a little bit more, we're working on this area right here of our thigh and our booty, stretching it out, loosey-goosey, cross over, rolly side to side. Guys, I've missed all of you guys. I have had several months over my summer off to pour into my amazing 14-year-old daughter as she is going through major life changes because of my decisions, my actions. And we are all happier based on our choices. And again, you kind of have to pour into yourself when you're starting to deplete on the energy flow. Let's go ahead and sit center of your mat. Bring those feet in, and let's just butterfly away. You can hold on behind you if you want to, but just butterfly away. As we get older, those groin muscles are not nearly as elastic, and we got to keep those babies firing and opening up so that we have hip stability and we don't have groin pain, because that's not fun. I see that a lot in my practice. So we're just butterflying away. We can go sitting more. If you want to bring those legs out in front of you and just gas pedal to loosen up your lower legs, you can do that. This can be a pressure point. As you can see, I don't have the bungee cover on my Jumptrack Pro today because I wanted you to be able to see everything in motion without it being hidden. And so if you have a Jumptrack Pro and you want to put the bungee cover on, please feel free to do that. I just kept mine off for the day to show you the difference. But we're just keeping those feet pumping, loosening up the toxins that we have gathered in our cast from the bounce. And the toxins that are released, we haven't caused that. It's stuff that's been stored in those tissues for a long time that we are now more elastic, we're letting loose. And so our body needs to eliminate that. And so we want to make sure that we are providing the ability for our body to eliminate those toxins. So thank you so much on behalf of Lifepro, joining me today for a little bounce back into a new routine with back to school and back to normal schedule for the fall. If you are at home and you don't have kiddos or individuals that are having to switch up schedules, hopefully you can learn something new and we can contribute to the tools and the resources for you to feel at your optimal self, jumping into the best version of yourself through the education that we offer here at Lifepro at no cost, whether you have one of our rebounders or not. We want to make sure that you're staying moving, that you are feeling good, and you're doing everything you can to release those happy hormones, eliminating stress so that you can sleep through the night and you can age backwards as the years roll on. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'll look forward to seeing you in our next video.